Get ready. Tomorrow's new moon isn't just any new moon. Something's shifting between you and everyone around you. You're not meant to be seen right now. This new moon wraps you up in something you might barely notice. The universe is listening, and right now, being alone is actually powerful. If you've already felt like pulling back, or noticed people misunderstanding what you say or your vibe, you're not imagining it. That's this energy in action. Let me know if you're feeling this too, if it's already started for you. During this new moon, you'll get a kind of message, but you have to really pay attention to catch it. I'll explain why later, so stick around. But first, something even more delicate is happening. If you share it too soon, it won't last. Some things only grow in silence, and this moon knows that. There are new insights forming inside you that won't survive a crowd. This new moon isn't handing you answers, it's planting seeds. And if you rush to show off or explain these ideas, they'll fall apart. It's like picking fruit before it's ripe. It bruises and turns sour. Some of your clearest thoughts right now are fragile. They're not secrets. They're more like feelings or frequencies, and those are strongest before you say them out loud. Say it too soon, and it fades. Write it down, and it might change. Tell the wrong person, and it might disappear forever. This moon asks, can you hold on to your vision without needing to prove it? Can you let it grow quietly, because something new is just starting inside you? But what if this moon changes your whole sense of direction? You're about to feel that, and it might not feel clear at first. When the real you feels too raw to show up, a copy steps in. During this new moon, when you're around others, you might notice a version of yourself, a polished, rehearsed version that takes over without asking. It smiles easily, answers questions, knows how to act. On the surface, it looks fine, but it's not really you. This is the fake you, and it kicks in automatically when the real you feels unstable. It's not bad or broken, it's a safety net, but it's lifeless. It doesn't feel real joy or depth. And after being around others, you might feel empty, like you missed something important, but don't know what. You might even catch yourself thinking, why am I acting like this? Who am I trying to impress? The truth is, this version of you is performing. It says what's expected and picks the safest emotional responses, but it's hollow. Every time this fake self takes over, the real you slips further into hiding. This moon doesn't want you to perform or pretend. It wants your raw, real self, even if that means being quiet, alone, or not showing up at all. Because while the fake self keeps you going, it also stops you from connecting with what's real. True joy can't reach a mask, and neither can meaning. So if you can, don't put on this mask just to make others comfortable. This isn't the time for that. This is a reset moment, and you'll only catch it if you stay true to yourself. Speaking of masks, there's one more to drop, and it's the most important. Freedom doesn't come from being seen. It comes from not needing to be. This new moon isn't about feeling, it's about letting go. The first thing to release is the need to care, not in a cold way that shuts you down, but in a way that frees you from thinking you have to control everything. We're always taught to care about our image, how we respond, our worth based on what others think. But this moon is sharp. Caring too much is like being tied down, and if you're tied to what others think, you're trapped. Here's the catch. During this moon, your care becomes a kind of currency, and some people, situations, or energies are ready to spend it for you. Someone ignores your message, and you get hooked. Someone says something weird, and it sticks. You feel misread, and suddenly you're trying to fix it. But what if you stop? What if you let people misunderstand you and don't try to explain? What if you don't post the perfect reply? Don't check yourself in the mirror. Don't chase the tension. This moon invites you to step back, not stop caring completely, but let go a bit. Because when you stop caring for a moment, you slip off the radar. You become lighter, invisible to the energy that keeps you stuck in small, spinning worries. Ask yourself, what would happen if you didn't care how this moment looks? Who would you be if you didn't have to impress, defend, explain, or chase anyone? Because right now, being invisible is power, And if you can let go even for a few hours, you might pass through the hardest lock this moon brings, unnoticed, untouched, and totally free. But wait, this moon isn't done. Spiritual noise is real, and it's in the air tonight. Right now, everyone's energy is loose. Not just you, not just people into this stuff, but everyone. Even those who don't believe in vibes or intuition. They're still sending out weird signals, mixing into spaces that aren't theirs. This new moon loosens the usual energetic boundaries people keep. It softens the lines. That's why even the calmest person might feel too loud, too much, or just a little off. Right now, people don't even know where they end and you begin. So when a conversation drags on too long, or someone suddenly shares way too much, or you leave a social situation feeling weird, tired, or a little off, it's not just you being sensitive. It's because you got rubbed the wrong way energetically. People don't always realize when they're crossing boundaries because their own boundaries are fuzzy. That's why spending time alone isn't about avoiding others. Once you soak up someone else's energy, it's harder to tell what's really yours. You start carrying other people's stories, thoughts, and worries that don't actually belong to you. Right now, feeling other people's emotions isn't a gift, it's a risk. Not because others are bad, but because their energy is all mixed up. They're not fully themselves, and neither are you, unless you create a real boundary made of quiet, not just physical distance. This isn't the time for deep talks or trying to figure things out with others. It's time to be quiet, be still, and wait until everyone's energy settles. Because something is scanning us right now, and if you're not careful, you'll get picked up on the wrong frequency. Here's something no one talks about. What happens when the eye opens and you're standing with the wrong crowd? If you step into that cosmic light too soon, it tags you by mistake. Something huge is blinking above us right now. This new moon isn't about darkness. It's like a big eye resetting, scanning everyone's energy, sorting and labeling. If you're caught in that gaze, surrounded by people tangled in their own shifting energy, you get tagged as something you're not. The eye doesn't see you as you truly are. It sees a mix of you and everyone else, like a blurry group photo taken too fast. If you're in the wrong group, the universe files you away where you don't belong. So what happens next? You wake up days later feeling like you're playing a role you never signed up for. Why people treat you like someone else. Why your life feels a little off. Not wrong, just out of sync. This isn't paranoia. It's like energy paperwork. The eye doesn't care who you really are. It resets based on who's there, not who you truly are. That's why invisibility is your friend right now. Let yourself fade out of their field for a little longer. It's not hiding. It's choosing not to be part of a group snapshot taken too soon. Once that picture is taken, it's harder to break free. If you want to come back as your true self, ready for the next chapter, then disappear now. Because when the eye opens again, that's when you step forward, fresh, untagged, and ready. On June 25th, people unknowingly hand you lines from scripts that were never meant for you. There's a strange fog settling with this new moon. It's subtle, but it's already happening. People start saying things that don't fit. They bring up random stuff out of nowhere. You'll notice it. Someone says something weirdly timed, strangely sharp, or oddly familiar. Not mean or random, but definitely off. It's like they're reading lines from a play you're not in, or worse, telling a version of your story that was never written. Maybe you're waiting in line and someone says something that hits you deeper than it should. Or a text comes through that feels heavy, but you don't know why. Someone you trust gives advice that rubs you the wrong way, not because they're wrong, but because they're tuned to a totally different signal. Right now, people say things they don't really mean, with voices that aren't fully theirs. This is what happens when energy gets fuzzy and mixed up. People around you become reflections of someone else's mood, thoughts, or chaos. They carry echoes, and those echoes bounce back at you. And if you're not careful, you'll start responding. You'll take on the script. You'll start acting in a play that's not yours. And once you say those words, even once, it sticks. Every reply to a false script makes it harder to hear your real voice. You're not here to act out someone else's story, but if you don't step back and stay still, you'll get pulled into their show. During this moon, even the nicest conversations can be traps. You'll want to answer, you'll feel like you have to, but stop and ask yourself, is this mine, or am I being cast in something I didn't audition for? That's the risk right now, not negativity or conflict, but being out of sync. People don't realize they're giving the wrong script. They think they're being helpful or kind, but something messes with how their words land. That's why your protection isn't just being alone. It's knowing what's yours to respond to. If it doesn't feel right, don't answer. Let the script drop. Let the scene fall apart. Let silence take over. Because the most important moment of this moon isn't in words. It's in what happens next. A moment when your soul reaches for a door and something ancient clicks. This key won't turn if other voices are still inside you. You can't force this. It's not a ritual. It's a real lock. Invisible but exact. Sitting inside you, waiting for one thing, total silence. Not just quiet outside, but a deep stillness inside that feels almost sacred. Some soul doors won't open if even one other voice echoes in your mind. This new moon opens a hidden chamber, but only for those who become still enough to turn the lock. It's a place beyond thought. It's not about healing or processing. It's about listening so deeply that even your inner voice fades away. And for a few seconds, maybe less, something clicks. You'll feel it in your body, your breath, even in how your name feels when you say it. Hours later, that's how you'll know the lock turned. Some parts of your spirit only respond to complete stillness. And that's why even one conversation, one voice, or one glance can break the moment. This isn't punishment. It's just precision. The soul doesn't work with half silence. It waits for full emptiness. So, if you felt like there's a part of you hiding behind a wall, or like something is waiting to meet you once you stop trying to meet everyone else, this is your moment. Not to chase, ask, or plan, but just to be so quiet that the universe hears you before you even say a word. And when it does, it gives you something strange, specific, and coded. That's what we need to talk about next. This moon isn't just unlocking old locks, it's sending you a message. One that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. You have to be alone to catch the message. This isn't symbolic or metaphorical. It's real and functional. The June 25th new moon is sending out something subtle but exact. A kind of alignment that doesn't shout or show off, but drops like a secret code when the world thinks you're not paying attention. If your mind is crowded or someone else's energy is too loud around you, you'll miss it completely. This isn't a lesson or a test. It's a quick but deliberate signal meant to reset how you handle something important. You might notice it as a sentence that suddenly sounds different, a memory that hits in a new way, an image, a phrase, or a feeling that feels perfectly timed. But only if you're tuned in. It doesn't yell, it hums. Sometimes the universe just drops an answer without trying to teach you anything, and if you blink, it's gone. This moon plays by different rules. It's sharp, clear, and fast. It won't wait for you to be ready or give second chances. That moment when you space out mid-conversation, stare at a wall, or suddenly feel overwhelmed for no reason. That could be it. But if you grab your phone, text someone, or tell a friend right away, the message slips away. The code isn't always numbers. Sometimes it's a metaphor, a face, or a symbol from a dream that shows up again in real life. It's like a line from a movie you've seen 100 times, but suddenly it hits home. And only if you're fully inside yourself, not distracted. Being alone here doesn't just mean physically by yourself. It means your mind is quiet, no interruptions. Even your inner voice steps aside for a moment. Most people miss this code not because it's hidden, but because their lives are too noisy to hear it. This moon brings a strange kind of precision, not for everyone, not for the whole world, but for you specifically. Think of it like cracking a safe. The tumblers spin fast, so you have to listen carefully and feel the lock. Here's the catch. Once this moment passes, it won't come back. This isn't about regret or missed chances. It's about respecting a kind of wisdom that moves only once and never repeats. If you want to catch this code, you have to give it space to land. That's why this moon doesn't want you to socialize or share too soon. The code isn't meant for the group. It's tailored for your path, your timing, your journey. You don't need anyone else's eyes on it. You just need to be still enough to see it come together. You weren't invited to their ceremony. You were called to your own. Some moments in life don't come with fanfare. No bright signs or applause. They unfold quietly, privately, and perfectly made for you. And this new moon is one of those moments. Think of it like a ritual that doesn't happen in a temple or a crowd, but in the small, unnoticed parts of your day. In your breathing, where your mind drifts. In the pause between one version of you and the next. This isn't about stepping into power or grabbing something new. It's about witnessing what the universe has been preparing behind the scenes. A shift in where you stand. A change in your soul's direction. It doesn't need anyone else to confirm it. In fact, the more people around you, the easier it is to miss. You're not here to cheer someone else's growth while yours goes unseen. This moon is holding a ceremony just for you. And if you're caught up in someone else's drama or their need for you to play a part in their story, you're in the wrong audience. It's not selfish, it's sacred. You've been called, and you can't answer if you're busy applauding somewhere else. Maybe you've already felt it, a quiet discomfort around too many people, or a sense that something important is missing during small talk. That's not anxiety. It's your body pulling you back to your own ceremony. Rebirth doesn't always feel big or flashy. Sometimes it's choosing not to reply to a text, staying home when everything says go out, or falling silent in the middle of a sentence. This moon is timing your presence exactly when the universe needs you to see yourself clearly, not through your job, relationships, or identity, but through the part of you that was always there before all that. It's not about doing anything. It's about being present when the shift happens. You'll know it's happening not because something explodes, but because something inside settles. Something that's been circling finally lands. A part of you that never felt named suddenly feels seen, but only if you're there for it. So when the world tries to pull you into performance, or when people drag you into their problems, chaos, or need for validation, pause and remember. You weren't invited to their ceremony. You were called to your own. On June 25th, silence isn't absence. It's the highest way to participate. Sometimes talking actually slows things down. This is one of those times. Whatever insight you're waiting for, whatever decision you feel you need to force, whatever answer you're trying to say out loud, let it go. This isn't the time to explain what's changing or why you're quiet. The moon isn't asking you to say what you've learned. It's already writing it inside you. All you have to do is stay still long enough for the ink to dry. If you're still here, thanks for listening. If you like this, please hit subscribe. It really helps. Feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Take care, and see you next time with more insights.